I'm Trace Williams. Thank you for joining me for What Do You Think? Today, the foundation. What is happening in our country? This is one man's opinion. Yet opinion is based on research, hours and hours of self-education. What I have discovered for myself is that there are three levels of activities occurring at the same time. I have come to the conclusion that there is the surface level activity. This is the mainstream media's portrayal of current events. This storytelling is just that, storytelling. Please research on your own the laws that allow propaganda to be narrated to the American people via the news media. Do not believe me, research for yourselves. It is within the parameters of the law for the news outlets to purposefully and deceitfully promote information to the American people to achieve a desired result. Begin your search in 2011. In essence, what is being shown to us by the news media are lies and falsehoods to hoodwink us into believing what the greater powers want us to believe. Has anyone noticed that major news stories have been reported to us, and we learned later that the stories are only half true? If true at all? But don't worry about that. The promotion of that story to push a narrative or an agenda is legal. This is what I deem as the surface level. It is what the greater powers want you to think. Over the course of decades, it has been an extremely successful form of manipulation. There was a time when I would listen to these stories and pass them on as truths myself. Then I started down the path of doing my own research. I grew tired of finding out later that these stories I've been told were lacking detail, facts, and preyed upon emotion. It was then that I decided to use the intellect that I was given to pursue the truth to these stories. That is when I reached a new level of awareness. I desired to be, quote, in the know. My in the know level led me to the truth of the matter by learning the details that the mainstream media was intentionally hiding from me. I learned that I was being manipulated by a group of people who wanted me to know only what they wanted me to know. That, to me, became unacceptable. I also learned that I had to use logic and discernment in order to locate the truth. I learned that everything appeared to be political. It didn't seem to matter whether it was the right or the left, the conservative or the liberal. There was an agenda being thrust at us. Over the last couple of decades, it was the same product in different packaging. I had to learn that both sides wished for the one world government, the one world monetary system, and the one world religion. As I reminisce, I realize that chaos has been the rule since the election of George H.W. Bush. We have been inundated with distraction ever since. It has been war after war, virus after virus, and riot after riot. If we stayed busy paying attention to all of that, we would not pay attention to the changes being made to destroy this country from within in order to obtain that objective. Then I began to question both sides, the right and the left, only to find that the two sides were pitted one against another was that of good and evil. For me, it was not right or left any longer. It was no longer Republican versus Democrat. It became clear to me that there was this good and evil on both sides. I do have to say that the left seemed to have the greater number of evil and appeared to work better together to promote this agenda. However, these politicians came from the same breeding grounds, such as the Brookings Institute, the Freemasonry, and the like. What is their agenda? As I've asked before, if there were a one world religion in which all religions come together, such as Catholicism, Protestant, Muslim, Buddhism, atheism, Luciferianism, then who would get the worship and praise? Would it be God? Which brings me to the third level, the foundation. Every so-called rabbit hole I have entered, I seem to end up in the foundation of what is transpiring in today's culture. Not only here, but globally. It all appears to be a war between good and evil. It seems as though one side is trying to push an agenda to control every aspect of our lives by giving us the false sense of security. Does it sound familiar? I am paraphrasing here. Everyone deserves free education, free healthcare, free housing, free money. We will give it all to you. As I look back at my studies, I recall someone else making those same offers to another person of importance. You can have it all. Just pledge your allegiance to me. Is this not basically the same offer presented to Jesus while in the wilderness, fasting and praying by Satan? My friends, please get to the foundation to truly understand what is happening on the levels of in the know and on the surface. It just may change your perspective on how all of this truly affects you. I'm Trace Williams, asking you, what do you think? God bless you. Have a great day, everybody.